Good evening and welcome to our Highlights from the Hill. I am Pastor Roy V. Elliott Jr. of the Liberty Hill Missionary Baptist Church, and I've come to share with you a few pointers from this Sunday's lesson, February the 4th, 2024. Our subject is Power Without Equal. We are in Unit 3, The Righteous Live by Faith, lesson number 10. We are coming out of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 12 and 13, and verse 25 through 31. Our key verse for this lesson comes from Isaiah chapter 40 and verse number 29. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. There are three lesson aims. Number one, explore the tension between God's creative power and human trust. Number two, perceive the relationship between renewing our strength in God while waiting for God to act. Number three, model trust and patience in God's timing. In our biblical context, it allows us to see that the book of Isaiah is written by Isaiah himself. He is the author. Our Isaiah prophesies during the reign of four of Judah's kings: King Uzziah, King Jotham, King Ahaz, and King Hezekiah. It was during the reign of Hezekiah's son Manasseh that Isaiah met his death. But it was at the time of King Uzziah, when he died, that Isaiah was called into this prophetic ministry. He prophesied for some 55 to 60 years. And it's amazing to prophesy this long, but he prophesies to a nation that consistently disobeyed God. The theme in the book of Isaiah is the Lord's salvation of Yahweh. And the theological significance is the comprehensive prophetic picture of Jesus Christ, encompassing the full scope of his life as the promised Messiah. In our introduction, it tells us that the human mind cannot fully fathom God's greatness. Its multiple attributes are unsearchable and beyond the limits of human understanding. Those who learn more about how God has revealed himself in his word will more clearly understand how to respond to his greatness appropriately and confidently trust God while waiting for him to act on their behalf. In chapter 40, the prophet offers a reminder of God's greatness and encouraging trust in God's promises of deliverance and restoration following the exile in Babylon. Outline one says God's greatness, incomparable, omnipotence, and omniscience. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 12 through 13, and verse 25 through 26. Isaiah, in the first 39 chapters, he talks to his generation, and it is focused on God's power to defend them against the Assyrians. But Isaiah's message now points forward to Jerusalem's destruction, the conquest of Judah by the Babylonians, and the events leading up to the people's restoration to their homeland, beginning in chapter 40. Some of Isaiah's audience, they have lost their perspective about God's ability to deliver them as they contemplated the victories of Assyria, Babylon, and Persia. Many imagined that the Israelites' defeat indicated that their enemies' gods were more powerful than theirs. So watch what Isaiah does. Isaiah now, he begins to reveal the authority of our God over creation. And Isaiah used human terms, which would be anthropomorphism, so we can understand God better. He says it this way: who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out the heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance. What Isaiah shares with us, that when we began to read these verses that we should be in awe of the glory of God, and that there's no one greater than him, because we see it in the text, because it shares how great of a mathematician that God is, because God knows how heavy the mountains are. He knows how heavy the hills are. He's able to balance them, and no one else could do that but the God that we serve. God knows so much that he can tell us how many speckles of dust are in the earth. God knows so much, and he is so powerful. He is so knowledgeable that there's no one else who could direct the Spirit of the Lord. Matter of fact, God is so smart, is that there's no one that can tutor him. There's nobody like him. There's no one who can teach God, because God is the one who does the teaching. There is no equal to our God. There is no one like our God. God is so awesome, and God is so amazing that he can bring forth the star. Matter of fact, not only can he bring forth the star, but he can call every star by its name. And we ought to be able to say, oh, what a mighty God that we serve. And that's the picture that Isaiah is painting for us in the text on today. And then when we go to outline 2, he says God's greatness, vigilant, omnipresent. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 27 through 31. God can be everywhere at the same time. And so God is reminding, Isaiah is reminding the children of Israel that God is aware of their circumstances. And I know there are times when we are going through certain situations and we have some struggles in our life, and it don't seem like we can get up from where we are. And we may feel like God is not aware of what we are going through, or that God has not even heard our prayers. But here Isaiah is reminding them that even in their weariness, the remnant that were complaining, that God still has sight of them, and that their prayers for justice were unheard and unanswered. Some felt that they were in such a tangled mess that God could not see them, thus was useless to plead their cause. So Isaiah begins to explain to them, and he explains to us to help us, that when we understand the greatness and the glory of God, it will persuade us that there is nothing in our life that is hidden from God. Matter of fact, not only is there nothing in our life hidden from God, but there's nothing neglected by God. So those who doubt it, and those who may not believe, those who are acting like atheists, must hear what Isaiah has to say, because Isaiah says to those who know about God should live like they know God. And that is the word for us on today, that we should live like we know God. And literally, Isaiah is trying to say to them that God is in control. He's so much in control that God, he gives power to the weak. Those who have no might, he increases strength. God is so much in control. Those who thought themselves strong will grow weak, because God's strength is reserved for those who know they are weak and know they have no might. Isaiah shares with us that God is in control, because in that last part of our lesson today, he says something that helps us, that excites us, that encourages us. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. I pray that you will join us this Sunday here at the Liberty Hill Missionary Baptist Church, when we will go deeper into this lesson here at 1215 South Schiller, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72206. You can join us in person. We would love to have you here, or you can join us via live stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We'll see you then. God bless you.